Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. I am here to, excuse me, brag about my oldest child. A few weeks ago, as the new year started, I think within a week of the new year, I did brag about my youngest child, Logan, who is going to college and doing really well. Great heart, great mind, and very proud of her. But since then I mentioned in that video that I would brag on my oldest child, and here's the thing: he has autism, and so he's limited into what he can do as a person, but he also has a lot of gifts. Sorry, I'm burping, I'm sniffling, I'm a mess. But my oldest child, Dante, who's amazing, he really is. Very has a lot of the same qualities as his sister, and his mother, and some stuff that I got too. I mean, we raised these kids with kindness and intelligence, and so wow, shockingly, they became kind, intelligent people. Now Dante, with his autism, is not how do I say typically intelligent. He has some things though clanging around in his brain. This is a little lesson I'd like to impart to you as not only the father of a special needs child, but also a man who's been teaching special needs children for the last 9 years. Just because a person can't talk and communicate something to you in a classic form does not mean they don't have a lot going on up here. I learned that not only through my oldest son, Dante, my oldest child, Dante. I learned it from 9 years of doing this type of work. These kids absorb stuff, and just because they can't let you know, or just because they process a little more slowly than a lot of us do, does not mean they're not getting it. Dante is that type of kid. Um, we pushed him hard. We pushed him hard when he was growing up. Once he was diagnosed with autism, when he was 3 years old, made a lot of mistakes, but did a lot right. Really focused on him because we were thinking about having a second kid, but we waited a while, and I'm glad we did because Dante was nearly 7 by the time Logan was born, and I'm glad we waited because we could put all our focus on Dante. And then when we had to focus more on Logan, we could still. Dante was 7, so he could handle things better, and he could um, get what Logan was about. Get that we were focusing a little more on Logan, but we also were able to educate Dante at the same time. Um, Dante has been amazing, absolutely amazing. Just this kind child, man child. He's going to turn 26 in a couple weeks. He's just, the hard part is that he rarely talks. And I know it's difficult on him. The wiring in his brain is different than ours, and it's just hard for him to communicate stuff with us. But he does when he needs to. He spends a lot of time in his room on his computer, like a lot of 26-year-olds do, like a lot of teenagers and 20-somethings in general do. And that way is very typical. But I do, you know, every night, well, 5 nights a week, probably not usually when Dylan's here on the weekends, but usually Monday or Sunday through Thursday night, we dance for a full hour. We have a nice big screen TV. We get YouTube on it, and we just go from video to video. Mostly 80s, some 90s. But yeah, most and some Outcast from the early 2000s. We have a lot of fun, and it's helped me with my weight loss. It's helped him maintain a pretty good weight on him because otherwise he's not very active. But it's a good bonding thing we do every night. We also try to watch movies or shows once in a while because, like I said, he's just kind of seclusionary, and that's a very typical thing of most people with autism. They're not very social. Um, but I'm proud of the kid. The kid graduated on time. He had great people around him, thankfully, at the middle school and high school levels especially. He had people that pushed him. Shout out to Rose Duran, who is now retired, but she ran the transitions program at Cherry Creek School District, which transitions, by the way, for those of you who don't know the special needs world very well, that is a 3-year period after a kid graduates high school that they usually ages 18 to 21. I think you can go all the way till like the day before your 22nd birthday, I believe. But Dante was in there from when he graduated in 2016 to 2019, and he got an internship with a children's hospital that did very well in. Me and Dylan weren't so sure he could do that. He learned how to use public transportation. Me and his mom weren't sure he could do that. And he's done those things. He's either had an internship or a job ever since graduation 8 years ago. Well, 7 years ago, because back in May he quit. And so he's been unemployed for about the last 8 months, but you know what? It's fine. He gets a break. He's worked, I'm proud of him. And we'll maybe look into finding something for him to volunteer doing, or a job. I might wait till summer for that, because he's getting services now. Also, he gets a little money from the government every month, and he gets services. And his two services he gets are massage, uh, twice a week at 1 hour a pop, so 2 hours of massage a week, and then music and movement, which is a woman coming. Her name's Caitlin. She's amazing. She plays guitar with him. Sometimes they even write songs together. They sing together, and sometimes I may do a little dancing too. So music and movement, 2 hours a week as well, two 1 hour sessions, and this is great for his socialization, because he's generally, like I said, not very social. So this is good, that just for nothing else, just that he gets to see some people that aren't in his everyday life. So these people see him twice a week. It's great, and they love him. Everyone loves this kid. Everyone always has, because he's a sweet, intelligent guy, and he's great. It wasn't always easy raising him. It was very difficult, at times, dealing with the autism, and all that entails, right? The social problems. He was nonverbal till he was 6. He was in diapers till he was 6. And I know I've mentioned this in past videos sometimes, but me and my ex-wife had to bust our asses just to get him where he is. But it's a work out of love, right? And now he does great. He's doing really, really well. Like I said, probably look for new work for him. But he's for a kid who has autism, and like I say, is generally not very social. He gets out and does stuff. We encourage him. He's gone dancing with my wife. They used to go to the Stampede, which is a country bar in Aurora, and they would go every week and dance and boot scoot and stuff like that. He puts an effort in. I was really proud of him when he worked or played on the unified basketball team when he was at Overland High School, which I ended up coaching later after he was there. I coached them, I think, in the 21-22 season. So that was really a great experience for me. But unified, if you don't know what that is basically special needs people playing a sport with some help from some of their peers, and some help from some of the paras and their teachers that work with them. And Dante, I worked with him on basketball. We would practice sometimes. This is after the divorce, but even before we were divorced, we had a hoop in our driveway. We would practice, and he enjoyed it. And I kept practicing with him, and he practiced at school. And Dylan and I were early into the divorce, so we weren't on great terms. But I remember we would we'd go to his games and watch. We weren't right next to each other in the stands, but we'd watch. And the first time he hit a shot, we looked at each other and we almost started crying. It was really hard not to just open up and cry, because it was a very successful, beautiful moment. And then he hit lots of shots throughout that season. One of my favorite moments, though, during that season, a lot of people with autism have very sensitive hearing, and Dante's one of those people. And they're very observant too. They know if a loud noise is coming, they're going to prepare for it. So at the end of every every quarter of the basketball game, there's that really loud horn letting them know, there's 000 on the clock. And so Dante would be ready. He didn't like the noise canceling headphones, so he would just be ready. He'd look and, 3, 2, 1, here we go, right? And he would do that. And one time, they weren't really thinking about his issue with this, and he was on the court. Usually they would put him on the bench so he could just cover up, but this time he was on the court, and there's like 3 seconds, 5 seconds left, and they bounce pass it to him, and he's like, oh God, I know that, he's looking at the scoreboard, and he knows that buzzer's coming, and so he covers up. He catches the ball with his elbows and tries to shoot it with his elbows, and it was just a beautiful, hilarious moment that I'll never forget. And it just shows the kind of fortitude this kid has, right? It's not just about being kind and intelligent. It's about working your ass off in life. And I was never more proud of him when I was like, man, you actually tried to catch a basketball with your elbows and shoot it because you knew that's what you're out there to do. But you're also protecting yourself and trying to give yourself relief by not hearing that loud ass buzzer. One of my favorite moments with him, he's a great swimmer. He's really into swimming for a long, long time. He hasn't been the last couple of years. I think that's all I got on him for now. I know that I could just gush about him. Maybe I will do maybe a second part later on. But that's my oldest son Dante, who, like I said, turns 26 next month. I'm lucky to have him as my kid, and just want a little brag there. So thanks everybody for checking it out. I appreciate you all with your listening, watching, and doing whatever you do. I appreciate you all, and have a great day, night, whatever you're doing. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.